Good evening, everybody. This is the Scoop News Radio. It's a daily show every night at 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday. If you notice, it's sunny out on my screen. This is a live shot of the jetty, and that's because it's Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I have to pre-record the program. This is the only time I don't do it live for the next couple weeks until I'm done with my obligation at the WLSS and recording my radio show over there. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm taking off for the studio to record a weekend show, which I'm sure all of you will listen to on 9:30 a.m. at 12 o'clock. And there's the South Jetty. Looks like a relatively calm day out there. So let's hit the news. A lot of news out there today, folks. A lot of news came in. I was going to play some videos, but there's just so much news out there that I'm going to avoid it and just go through what we're looking at. The lift station, once again, the costs are greater than they expected. And if you recall, I've told you guys, hey, look, Chapman was the reason behind this. Before she was a councilwoman, she was an activist, and she was active in getting it out of her community, which many people probably would do. Ended up getting moved here. They thought it would cost $10 million to complete. Now they're up to $27 million. And that's if they can find a contractor, because they fired the contractor, and with all this extra costs, the residents are going to pick up the tab on it, which is a shame. So that's a story that continues to be played out in the news. If you go to WWSB, they have a short story on it, a short report on it. The SMOA, this is the old Sarasota High School, and they're beginning the work. They're beginning to work on the building to turn it into the Sarasota Museum of Art. It's going to be about $22 million to do it. They're trying to raise the money now so that they can get out there and be fully funded and get this project rolling in the right direction. So there you go, Sarasota High School and the changes taking place there. This is a great story. And you know what? I actually will play this video from WWSB. This is on a dentist who, there's a terminally ill guy, lost his teeth due to all the radiation. This dentist stepped up and took care of his teeth for him. It was a good story. I saw it today at the gym, so why don't we take a quick listen to it. And you know what? I didn't prepare it, so it's probably got a commercial in there.
Hey, Larry, what's going on? Folks, is your credit score...
All right, so essentially he went in there. This guy had to redo the whole top of the individual's teeth, the dentist did, and then he had to fill in the bottom, sort of, which you'll see on here. So Dr. Fabiani, here we go. Some volume.
Hospital gets a hospice house call from a Sarasota dentist. And that's not all he got. ABC 7's Alex Redmond has this story. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. It's hard enough to have a medical condition that affects your organs, bones, and teeth. Now imagine being a transplant patient in hospice without your dentures. He is the love of her life.
I was 13, he was 15. We met in Philadelphia. We were 2 blocks away neighbors.
Janet Dimmick says she and husband Bill will have their 50th anniversary in May, if possible. But now Bill is in hospice, suffering conditions brought on by anti-rejection drugs.
Transplant medicine is really hard on your body.
And they ruined his teeth.
He lost all of his top teeth from decay, and the bottom, they're slowly falling out.
Bill misplaced his denture at the hospital. They were lost. He has problems swallowing, says wife Janet, needs teeth to chew, and has lost more than 40 pounds. So she called their dentist.
It's a heartbreaking story. The man is having a lot going wrong, and he's dying.
Dr. Doug Fabiani says the holiday season is here.
So I felt like, how can he go without teeth during this time of year?
Dr. Fabiani went to hospice house and went to work right there.
And he made impressions for upper plate.
All right, so there you go. You get the gist of the story. Great community-oriented goodwill back from Dr. Fabiani. So thank you to him for doing a good thing out there in the community. All right, Sarasota participates in, this is Giving Tuesday. I forgot to answer this question. And the Observer went out and they talked about some of the Giving on Tuesday events that were out there for the holiday season. The 2nd of December was that global day that's dedicated towards it. And the organizations participated in community youth development in Sarasota County, the Audubon Society in Sarasota County, Air Research Foundation, Girl Scouts, numerous foundations and associations that are out there giving back, and that was on Tuesday, so good thing there. Partnerships. This is another guy comes up and steps up. Partnership covers cost of knees to those who need it. This is Dr. Adam Bright. He visited both chambers at Sarasota Memorial on Tuesday, and he arranged for chambers to get a free knee replacement in partnership with the Operation Walk USA, and they provide a gratis hip and knee replacement nationwide to patients who just cannot afford it. So a lot of feel-good stories out there, and that one came out from the Maggie Clark over at the Herald. So that was an interesting story. This is a new facility, and they'll accept new patients need medical care for illness and injury. Dr. Mason, you know, the one thing you got to ask, and I'm not sure, is if he's in network. So when you go to these operations, make sure you're finding out if they are in network, because they set up a new operation. They don't have that address set up in network, especially with Medicare and Medicaid. All right, and this is it, my new scoop news. I'm doing a slow rollout where essentially when the news comes out, I'm going to post it on there and then share it on my page and get all the traffic directing back there. You can see the scoop news show, which you're probably on now, my radio show on Saturday. This Uncensored is an alternative radio show that I do. And then the different news pages, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube so that you can get archived videos, interviews, and all that stuff, longevity. And we're going to continue to upgrade this so it looks better. This young man, he was missing. Gavin Oliver, 12-year-old. He was last seen around midnight. And I'm assuming that's when they last put him to bed, and somehow he got up. There's no breakdown of what happened, but fortunately the individual was found and everybody's relieved. Wreaths across America. This is something that they had a hard time last year coming up with the 10,000 wreaths, but they made it this year, and they're going to go out and lay them out at the National Cemetery. I think they're doing it this Thursday. This is the third year in a row that the Sarasota Military Academy has done this. If you want to go to my site, you can see that, and then just click this link, finish this story, and it'll take you directly to the story at mysuncoast.com. All right, construction. Construction will soon begin on luxury condos. I think somebody wrote on there, just what we need, more condos. But the groundbreaking ceremony is out there for this luxury one that Crossgate Partners are putting up. And it's going to be for Infinity Longboat Key, 11 residents along Gulf of Mexico Drive. So good things happening there. I-75, there was an accident over by Clark. It closed 2 lanes. 3 people from Sarasota were injured in the accident. Some elderly people. You can see some of the story from the Herald up there, and for the rest of it, you'll just have to read the rest of the story and check out that particular page. All right. We're going to cut to a quick commercial. These commercials are people that are helping me to get a green screen behind me so you don't see this mess, and to get software so that I can transition smoother, and to get a video camera since mine was stolen. And so visit them, Bit of Boston, go out there, eat something. I think they got some deal, some discount today if you went out today for the scoop and mentioned the scoop. So let's listen to that, and it also gives me a chance to set up for the next segment. So we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back after that brief commercial break. One thing I didn't want to mention, this is from the Northport Sun from Allison Shirk. She wrote that Northport may soon be joining a variety of cities on alcohol sales before noon on Sundays. And essentially the city commission had their workshop yesterday, and the majority of the commissioners said they would consider lifting the ban. So they're going to go back and have Mayor DeFranco brought up an ordinance limiting alcohol sales at the commission workshop they're going to go back and basically look it over. What I think the cities are going to generally do, from what you're hearing with Northport and Sarasota, is try to come up with something that's in line with what the county has for timelines. I have not heard anything out of Longboat Key or Venice yet. Venice's meeting was yesterday, and then I think they're on a break until after the January holidays. All right, let's get back to the other news that's impacting us today, and this is the Fisherman's Wharf. Been talking about them for a while now, and I guess the individuals around there are concerned. One person, the way she commented on there was as though she was a resident and she wasn't aware that it was approved. Many of them were concerned about the noise that these slips may bring in. And so this is going to be a continuing saga, you know, and it came across to me like Harbor Lights and Bellachesca, Costa Condos, that they were all in and they were fine with it and they were working together. They decided on no noise between 10 and 6 or something like that. You can only stay there for 45 days at a time, no houseboats, and they got all these stipulations in there. But it seems like there may be some people that are still a bit concerned. So this is a story that I'm not sure it's ever going to go away. It's funny, I was out talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about how it used to be there back in the 80s, back when Ron came there for a visit. And you had the wharf that was up top, and it was a nice fancy restaurant. I actually used to waiter there. Then you had the wharf at the bottom where it was just a pigsty, not a pigsty, but a total joint hangout, and we would go there on weekends and just eat and drink and have a good time. Changed it all. They tore down the nice building and all that. So I got caught reminiscing there. All right, so public invited to share concerns about 2015 in the session. This is a legislative session that they are having. It's for the regular 60-day legislative session. It begins on March 3rd. State Reps Jim Boyd and Ray Pylon will join the local reps and officials in holding this event, or they held this event. It was this morning at 9 a.m. I think I said something about it yesterday. It was up there in Sarasota. Pressure's building to dump the city growth plan. This is something the Gondo put out, and you know what it is back in 2009 you had a council that was not big on growth, and I think they were essentially in agreement with what the majority of the residents want. Now you have a council that I think only one person's a long-term resident, the rest are all under 10 years, and they want growth, growth, growth. And so this is causing a conflict. They're concerned now of some legal liability, possibly from going away from the 2009 comprehensive plan. So now it's on Dave Person, who's the attorney there, to check it out and see what they do, if there is any liability, and if the city's okay. Drum circle, this is something I didn't even know about. Look at that. That's in Inglewood, folks. That's not Nokomis. That's not Venice. I don't even think they do the Venice one anymore. This is in Inglewood, and they have a drum circle there. It's on Sunday evenings. It draws a large crowd. They go out there and they essentially dance and do the drum circle thing as the sun goes down. So if you ever want to make it out there, go to Inglewood Beach on Sunday, and that's a new drum circle that I was never aware of. Inglewood Sun, they had their 25th year in a row. The Rotunda West Oakland Hills Marine and Gazebo are making a festive picture with thousands of lights, and this is their official lighting ceremony and boat parade, which attracted large crowds out there for socializing and drinks engagement. Now this is a petition. I went out there. This person was trying to get to 1,000. It looks like now they're trying to get to 1,500 in terms of bringing it's a petition to bring chickens into your yards in the non-incorporated areas of Sarasota. And this has been an ongoing issue. You know the story I've been sharing on the Venice Scoop page of I think her last name's Crowman, where they've been in a fight to keep their 3 chickens. Okay, now we are going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, we are back. Now we're talking a little bit about the crime. You guys all know I mentioned yesterday about the spice the spice arrests that were made yesterday. A lot of money. I think 4 separate warrants. 2 went to one location and then 2 other locations. This is an ongoing battle, but they're just trying to bring more awareness to the dangers of spice. And I don't know if I have the video. I do. Let's go ahead and drum that up. There's probably going to be a commercial, so let's silence it. I'm hearing so much about deaths occurring with this, about brain damage, and the problem is many people are buying it. It's only $20. The retailers can sell it for, or buy for $2 and resell it for $20. So let's take a listen to it.
Drugs is one of their most pressing problems.
From WWSB.
We're hearing reports of teenagers having died after smoking the chemical-laced substance. ABC 7's Bobeth Yates is here with more on the potential danger. Bobeth?
That's right, the designer drugs are referred to by multiple names. Spice, K2, incense, even synthetic marijuana. But officials we spoke to say the reactions are nothing like smoking pot.
People who were seeking a safe alternative to marijuana have instead found something that is far more dangerous.
Paul Sutton is the executive director of the Sarasota Coalition of Substance Abuse, and he's talking about the increased popularity of K2 Spice.
You have to look at the package itself. It's a product that's not intended for human use. So when human beings do use it, they have problems.
Sentiments echoed by P.J. Brooks, the vice president of outpatient services at First Step Sarasota.
The synthetic cannabinoids are actually much more comparable to amphetamines like speed, okay, with a combination of hallucinogens like LSD.
In addition to hallucinations, K2 users experience an increase in heart rate and body temperature that can result in hospitalization. Brooks says his agency surveyed more than 900 K2 users, and their overwhelming consensus was that it's not good.
The overall response is to the folks who, from the survey, they highly recommend for no one to use the drug, and that they were thought that it was frightening at minimum and life-threatening for others.
Still, the popularity is growing.
They target anybody who's willing to use it. What we found is that it was not just the youth, it was young adults, middle-aged adults. Any individual who may have used marijuana in the past thought, well, I'll give it a try, not knowing that it was not going to be like marijuana.
And Sutton says the dangers are the result of how K2 is made.
Basically any herb, and they just spray it with these chemicals. You know, originally it was 5 different chemicals that DEA identified. And then after DEA identified those chemicals and listed them as illegal, that's when they started to change the chemicals. So now today, when you consume it, you're not sure what chemicals are being sprayed on it.
And even though Suncoast cities and counties have passed ordinances prohibiting the sale and possession of K2, many convenience stores continue to stock it on their shelves.
They're selling it because they make a huge profit margin. They buy it for $1 or $2 and in turn sell it for $20. They've been informed about the ordinance, they know it's against the rules, and they continue to do it.
All right, so that was Beth with an excellent interview. Great job from WWSB, talking about many of the dangers associated with spice out there. Unfortunately, many retailers continue to sell it, knowing the dangers behind it and knowing that it's essentially illegal. Body cameras. I brought this one up because the sheriff is touching on them. This is an issue whereas I think it's next month, Sarasota, the city of Sarasota is going to start their 1-year trial with body cameras, and now Obama is pushing with this new edict that he put out yesterday that he'd like to see body cameras on everybody. He's proposing of $75 million to buy 50,000 cameras. Many are worried about it, though. When will they start up? When will you turn it off? How will you take out sensitive information so that it's not visible to individuals? And Tom Knight went ahead and sounded off. I think this was Tom Knight. Yep, and he sounded off about the different concerns that he has. Actually, it wasn't Tom Knight, it was some guy, Richard, that works with the sheriff's office. So there we go. And that was from Isabel Mascarenas at WTSP. And there's a video on there if you want to check out that link. The link is on my Sarasota Scoop page. Please, in Venice, they arrested this guy, Jonathan McKinney. He's a raggedy-looking dude, too. He charged him with aggravated battery after witnesses basically said he picked up this 52-year-old guy, put him in a chokehold, lifted him, slammed him on the ground over by the train station. Over and over and over, I'm hearing about some of the individuals that hang out at that train station, and that there's some concerns with them. I gather there's several homeless there, but some of them are just out of control, such as this individual. But now he's sitting in the city pen, or county actually. This is an individual, Roosevelt Thomas. He's a black male, 24. He's wanted for obstructing justice. If you know of his whereabouts, please contact Detective Maria Lovio at 941-364-7336. Wanted fugitive out there. All right, we are going to take one more break. I'm going to come back with the weather, entertainment, so don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. The weather, no rain out there today. There was some rain yesterday, but as you can see from the radar, there's really nothing. There is a cold front that's coming through probably somewhere around Monday night, Tuesday, somewhere in there. We'll see a small drop down to 75, but right now it's up in the 80s. They're expecting 82 tomorrow, partly cloudy, 81, 78 over the weekend, partly cloudy. So it looks like we have a great few days ahead of us. A lot better than what they're experiencing right now up north. It is pretty chilly up there, so good things happening here as usual in Venice, Florida. Port Charlotte in sports, they turned back the Venice boys basketball team, unfortunately, yesterday. That story is up on the news scoop, and you can read essentially the specifics on it. I'm trying to, with these stories, I'm trying to give you enough so that you can comprehend what the story is all about, because generally, if you click through, if it's with the Herald and you've read it more than 5 times in a month, you're not going to see anything. If it's the Condo and you're not subscribing to them, you're not going to see anything. Same with the Northport Sun, Inglewood Sun. So I'm trying to get as much as I can of the meat and potatoes legally, while going out and giving them credit for the story, the media company and the writer, and for the picture also, if there's a picture taken. So that's on those two things. Now, I had you guys on the wrong screen, so you didn't see the map. Okay, but entertainment, we're still just the countdown. Tomorrow, Thursday, we have the it's basically Christmas in Venice, or Christmas walk or something like that. It's from 5 to 8 on downtown Venice. It's always fun. They play Christmas music. Santa's out there. The businesses are all open. I used to take my kids there when I was younger. Remember, on Saturday, lots of events. You have the boat parade here in Venice, and that's at 7 o'clock. I think it starts along the ICW from the jetty down to the Circus Bridge. You have the Pancetta Festival in Northport. The parade is the following week. And then in Sarasota, you have the parade along Main Street. There's going to be several roads that are closed, and I think that starts at 12 o'clock. I have put the info out, and I will put it out again to everybody so that they can see them. One more event on Saturday. Remember, Sarasota doing great things in the community, and they are having the Meet Santa Claus little shinbang. I think it's from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11 at the YMCA in South Venice. Look for that. It's under my event section. You get to meet Santa, you get snacks, you get to socialize. They used to have the Venice Elementary Choir go out there that my daughter did. I don't know if they will again, because last year I was out there and I did not see them. Okay, so that's your scoop. That a lot of news over the last 24 hours. I don't know how I did it so fast. Generally speaking, I don't even look at the clock. I start. If it's a 5-minute show, that's great. If it's a 30-minute show, that's great. And we just try to knock it all out, get it all out to you, and move on. I will be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and I am live tomorrow. Sorry about doing a recording, but I have to fulfill this radio show commitment for, like I said, a couple more weeks. For Frankie, everybody have a great day, and tell me what you think of my tagline. I have it on that new webpage, and it says, The Scoop, the voice of the residents of Sarasota County, or the voice for the residents of Sarasota County, something like that. Check it out. It's on my scoop page. I'll see everybody later.